So, by the third person now recently, I've been asked how the state of my leg is. For those of you who don't know, I've got a crap leg. The reason my leg is crap is because on the 15th of May 2008, I was involved in a car accident. I was a passenger, in no way to blame whatsoever. I would say I was a victim of the accident. My tibia and fibia were completely broken, twisted and shortened. I mean, they were completely broken. I had about 8 breaks in my pelvis in 4 different places, and yeah, it wasn't good. I was airlifted to hospital. A day and a half later, my lungs started to not work due to, they think it was an embolus from one of my breaks. So I had to be intubated, which lasted for about 3.5 weeks. My lungs were just completely not working at all. They tried to take me off the intubator to get me breathing again a couple of times. I almost died each time. The whole time they were having to suck blood, mucus, other gunk out of my lungs, because one of my lungs was also hemorrhaging. The pelvis breaks and leg breaks meant that they couldn't. It was delicate to move me, because obviously I could get more emboli and the lungs could get screwed up more, which meant that they couldn't operate on the leg or the pelvis to pin them, because then the lungs would get worse. So, and I would probably have died. So they couldn't pin any of the brakes, which is why my leg hasn't set correctly, which is why it's still crap. It's not at the right angle, it's offset, it's not healed properly. This is the 8th attempt to record this. I'm finishing it. So, it didn't heal properly. Because of the relative length of the bones, now different, pressure in my knee isn't correct, so I now have osteoarthritis in my knee. Cartilage is wearing away. That will continue to get worse. During the 3.5 weeks I was in hospital, well, rather no, I was in the hospital 2 months, but during the 3.5 weeks I was being chemically sedated and paralysed, again to stop the brakes opening up and blah blah blah. I wasn't sedated correctly, so I was hallucinating for 3.5 weeks with the added, I could taste blood in my mouth. At one point I had a mystery infection. I remembered feeling a lot of heat. There was a whole episode when I was hallucinating where I thought there was a lot of heat. There was a lot of stuff going on. Eventually I'll write up that 3.5 stretch because it was mental. Yeah, so when I eventually woke up after having been paralysed for 3.5 weeks, I was so weak I couldn't even I couldn't suck water up a straw. Breathing was obviously very, very hard. I had a machine forcing air down my throat, but at least it was like a face mask rather than a tube. So yeah, that was that then. Since then, obviously, like I've just said, I've got osteoarthritis in my left knee. The brake still gives me issues because of the fact that with the brake and the healing and that, I limp. With a walking stick, I don't limp as much. In fact, you could say the limp isn't there almost with the walking stick, and it can make me go a lot faster as well. I use it like a skiing stick to push me along faster. I'm still incredibly unfit. Going up a flight of stairs puts me out of breath, because obviously I haven't been able to get back exercising or do anything like that because of the leg, really. So yes, lots and lots of pain. I do various things for that pain, and this is a get to know the hairy geek, get to know Tim. This is the situation for those who already know me. And yes, it's been about 4.5 minutes, and I do apologise for taking your time. But it's nice to have an updated record of how I'm doing, I think. And for those of you who have cared enough to ask, thank you, and hopefully that answers the question.